Hi, and welcome to your lectures for week 2 on talent management and how to hire the right people. For years, I've told students in my management courses that for a company to achieve greatness, it has to develop an exceptional vision and strategy, then hire people with the skills to see it through. It seems I may have had it backwards. According to Jim Collins, author of Good to Great, companies who make the leap to greatness are those who first get the right people on the bus and the wrong people off the bus, and then figure out where to drive it. Mediocre companies, however, first decide where they want to go and then hire people to take them there. If you hire people primarily because they have the skills to help you achieve a specific set of goals, what happens when you have to alter those goals to fit an ever-changing business environment? You'll be forced to stay on a road that will inevitably lead to a dead end. If you start off with the wrong people, it won't even matter if you're going in the right direction. You'll never have a great company. According to Collins, great vision without great people is irrelevant. It's a matter of starting with the who rather than the what. If you've got the right people on the bus and it suddenly needs to change direction, your business will be able to adapt. In the early 1970s, Dick Cooley, then CEO for Wells Fargo, knew that the banking industry would eventually encounter major changes. He just didn't know how or when. He didn't bother developing various strategies to deal with future changes. Instead, Cooley injected an endless stream of talent into the company, hiring outstanding people whenever and wherever he found them, often without any specific job in mind. Several years later, when deregulation changed how banks could do business, Wells Fargo was ready to deal with it, unlike many of its competitors. Though its sector of the banking industry fell almost 60% behind the general stock market, Wells Fargo outperformed the market by over 3 times. When many banks started going into crisis mode in 2007, Wells Fargo was still going strong. It sounds like common sense to simply hire excellent people from the start and get rid of slackers. Unfortunately, it's easier said than done for most organizations. While I read Collins' book, I agreed with the concept, but wondered if the reality of time constraints or a weak pool of applicants make it unrealistic to always hire the right person. I thought back to times when I felt under a great deal of pressure to quickly fill positions so that projects could be completed. On one occasion, I remember a colleague telling me, "We need an excellent candidate for this job. The person you want to hire is not excellent. We're better off hiring no one at all." In the end, he was right. So how do you get the right people to join you and get the wrong people to leave? According to Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric, it's through differentiation. In his book, Jack, Straight from the Gut, he states that GE tried numerous evaluation systems to weed out poor performers. But unfortunately, many employees were able to work the system and keep their jobs despite producing mediocre work. During performance evaluations, most supervisors were hesitant to write negative appraisals or criticize employees for poor performance. GE also tried the 360-degree evaluation, in which peers and subordinates offered appraisals of each other. This allowed GE to get rid of the real jerks who kissed up and kicked down. Eventually, however, most employees developed an informal agreement to offer only pleasant comments so everyone could maintain good assessments. After much brainstorming, GE executives developed the differentiation vitality curve. Managers at every level continually assess which employees are the top 20%, the vital middle 70%, and the bottom 10%. Employees are either A, B, or C players. A players are people filled with passion, committed to making things happen, open to ideas from anywhere, and blessed with lots of runway ahead of them. They also possess the 4 E's: high energy, the ability to energize others, the edge to make tough decisions, and the ability to execute and get things done. B players are critical to the success of a company, and managers work hard to help them improve and become A's. C players are average at best. Rather than get things done, they tend to suck the energy and motivation from those around them. C's must be fired. While A players should get raises up to 3 times that given to Bs, they should also receive bonuses and stock options at every grant. About 65% of Bs should also receive some of these options. Cs should get nothing. Welch states that losing an A is a sin. Love 'em, hug 'em, kiss 'em, don't lose 'em, he says. Managers at GE are held accountable for every A employee they lose, which is less than 1% a year. Welch writes that while many think it's ruthless to consistently remove the bottom 10% of employees, just the opposite is true. What he thinks is brutal and bogus is keeping people in a company who will never thrive. He states that there is no cruelty like waiting and telling people late in their careers that they don't belong, just when their job options are limited. Welch excised 25% of his employees. That seems harsh, but there's no disputing his statistics. When Welch started with General Electric in 1981, profits were at $1.5 billion, and when he left in 2000, they reached $12.7 billion. That's not bad, especially for employees who receive stock options and love the high-performance culture.